crew here. Connor has arrived, so Scott and Louie, out to you at Rogers Place in Edmonton.
Ron, thank you very much. It is hard to imagine a player who's won a couple of Hart trophies, 4 league scoring titles, raising his game to an even higher level, but Connor McDavid has done it. We're delighted to have him with us on After Hours tonight. Connor, we've been thinking long and hard about how to start this discussion, and so perhaps it would be best if you would agree to take us through Jake DeBrusk's 2 goals at the Winter Classic last Sunday. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
that's an ode to the proud father.
wish we could have talked about tonight, but
we're going to skip past tonight.
Fair enough.
That's not, by the way, how we intended to start the program. We're going to talk about you and the fact that at 33 goals halfway through the season, you're looking at your first 50-goal season and probably more. You and Leon Draisaitl are known to have a very close relationship. Leon Draisaitl told Elliot Friedman prior to the start of the season that he advised you to be more selfish and that you could score 60 if you wanted to. So it would seem, according to the video evidence we have here, that you have taken his advice to heart. Have you?
Yeah, definitely shoot more. That's something that I want to do more. I want to score more goals, and obviously getting to 500 assists. I think I've got that down. And looking to maybe score a couple more goals.
Louie.
For me, it's almost not just the shot, Connor, but also the shot selection. You're picking corners. There's just a confidence with that shot. But talk about your relationship with Leon a little more and just how important he's been for your career, you've been for his career, because you guys are riding shotgun with each other through this endeavor.
For sure, and we've been through a lot already together. Obviously this is my 8th year now, and we've been through lots of ups and downs and lots of emotional times together, and I think that only kind of grows, that makes us stronger. So he's someone that I wouldn't want to ride shotgun with anyone else, and we've definitely developed a great friendship off the ice as well, and obviously on the ice it's been pretty fun to play with him. So definitely lucky that our paths crossed here in Edmonton.
Connor, some players have the ability to recall every goal they've ever scored. Patrick Laine, for example, when he scored 44 with the Jets a few years back, could 4 months later tell you about a 5-2 goal that he scored in St. Louis on a Wednesday night in January, for example. That might not be the exact circumstances, but something like that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Do you have those powers of recall?
A little bit. Obviously there's some goals that kind of go by the wayside, but I would like to think I remember most.
All right, well, let's try one. 5:03. Well, let me see. Where is it here? Oh, Oilers in Arizona, Wednesday, December 7th. You had 4 points, 2 goals. First of them, the 7-1 goal in the third period. How did you score it?
Well, obviously it's big when you get the 7 and 8. You get your 2 goals and a 7 to make it 7 and 8.
They all
1.
count.
So they all count, I guess. But
well, we picked it because it probably wouldn't be one that you'd have a vivid recollection of.
Yeah, no, I do remember that one. That was a nice one. Leo, doing what he does. He was kind of dancing in the corner, and I think he brought it up to the blue line and turned back down, and made a dart of a backhand pass all the way across, and I caught it and wrapped it around and made it 7-1.
That's good.
Big goal.
Let's get some verification here, see if you're right.
And how about this pass by Leon, though? This is incredible.
I mean, it's all world. There's not many guys that pass it like that. And, I've been on the receiving end of many of those great passes, and it's fun to play with them. For sure.
Well, you got a job as an analyst after that. Was perfect. That was a perfect breakdown.
You got it right, and if we were a bigger show, we'd give you a prize. 272 regular season goals, 21 of those in the playoffs. If you take them all into consideration, tell us what one has been the most impactful and meaningful for you as an Oiler.
I would have to say absolutely the overtime goal against Calgary in Game 5 there. That goal kind of means the world to me. Again, a nice little pass from Leo, and just trying to get it on net. And it was a big goal, and something I'll remember for a long time.
And that kind of catapulted you guys, obviously, to the next round up against the team you just saw tonight. But, I mean, especially against Calgary, too. That just had to be even more of an emotional game for you guys to finish off a team that gave you some hard times in the regular season.
Absolutely. I think, maybe you don't understand the emotion of the Battle of Alberta if you're not from Alberta. I certainly didn't understand how passionate the fans were about it, and how much emotion goes into it until I started playing for the Oilers, and they were always the late game when I was growing up. So I'd catch them every now and then, but you know, there's so much passion, there's so much emotion on both sides, you know, Oilers fans and Flames fans, and to be able to, you know, that's the first Battle of Alberta in 30 some odd years, and to be able to win it in overtime and be a part of that game was something that meant a lot to me.
Yeah, so that was the OT goal that sent you to the third round. It was duly noted that as the first round against the Kings went on, you raised your game to a never-before-seen level, and that continued in the series against the Flames. How do you look back on your playoff performance?
It was fun. It was fun. We were all having fun. You know, just to see the fans rally, and you know, it's been a long time since the Oilers have been on a run like that, and you know, I know all the greats of the past and all the former Oilers talk about how the city kind of just gets going, and it does that in spades. So it was fun to be a part of, and we were all playing pretty good hockey, and it's fun just getting on a roll like that.
You know, the Flames several times, not several, but a couple of times during that series said, hey, we're getting beat by one guy. That sounds fine, but it doesn't stand up in the face of contributions from Zach Hyman, Evander Kane, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Leon Draisaitl. So that takes us to Draisaitl, and the fact that he had to play on one leg after his injury in Game 5 of the first round against the Kings. It was an heroic performance. You've seen some things in your 8 years in the NHL. Where would you rate Draisaitl's playoff performance under such circumstances?
Yeah, it's hard to put into words. I mean, we all saw the injury. You know, it was no secret that he was not feeling very well, and for him to do what he did all playoffs long afterwards was you know, remarkable. As his friend and teammate, you know, it's hard to watch some moments. You know, knowing how much pain he was going through, and you know, he'd fall on it or catch it in a rut, and you know, he'd come back to the bench screaming. So it's hard to watch at some points, but you know, obviously as a competitor, it was cool to see.
I want to go back to a goal that you will have no difficulty recalling. It was, November 5th, I think, here at Rogers Place, 2021, the night that they raised Kevin Lowe's number 4 to the rafters. And then you did this. It was amazing. It was talk of the NHL for a long time. Your celebration here tells us, I think, that even you thought you'd done something special. So the question is, do you sometimes amaze yourself?
Yeah, I mean, you got to kind of understand the context of the night a little bit. That was the night we raised Kevin Lowe's number, and it was a Friday night, and the fans were rowdy, and it was an emotional game, up and down game. We got down and came back, and you know, we were down again with like 3 minutes left, and you know, to score that way, I mean, you certainly don't. That's your plan, I guess, but it doesn't always work out that way. So for everything to go according to plan was pretty funny.
Question from BMAC. My wife's wondering what song's going through your head when you dangle through 4 players and score.
Yeah, you know, there's not much going through my head. Just trying to do what I got to do.
You got a goal song?
No, we don't do that here in Edmonton, but you know, maybe something in the future.
Okay. So much of your game, Connor, is about your unique ability to accelerate, and I thought we saw it in that 1-on-4 goal. Take a look here. Well, there was supposed to be a freeze there, but you were almost stopped at the blue line in glide mode. Then you turn on the afterburners, and the next stop was the puck in the net. The Rangers had no chance. So there's a lot of God-given talent in that, and also a lot of power edge. We see you here in this program developed by Joe Quinn at the age of 12. You've been doing this for a long time. A lot of edge work and endorsement.
Great flow too, eh?
And then 10 years later, you're still doing it. This is, I think, from 3 years ago, by which time you were a bona fide NHL superstar. We're not trying to sell or endorse anything here, but the similarities between what you do in that edge work, Power Edge Pro, and what we see you do on the ice cannot be ignored, can they?
I certainly think it translates. It's something that, like you said and showed, I've been doing for a long time, and you know, to go through there at high speeds and you know, working your edges and your hands at the same time, and you know, having the ability to be creative, I think it does translate. You know, there's always going to be different scenarios on the ice, and you got to be able to read and react and make a play in tight spaces. And I think that's kind of the only thing I've come across that could kind of train that.
And although practices are fewer and further between now with the schedule, how busy it is, I see you doing it on the ice still now. You still get involved in those little skill drills and just to keep the mind and the body kind of in motion, right?
Yeah, I think it's important. I think it's important to keep working at your game. When you get to the NHL level, there's obviously a lot of coaching that goes on. Practices are a little bit more systems based, and sometimes you don't work on your skills for months on end, and that's obviously not the case here in Edmonton. I think we do a good job of sticking with it and allowing our guys to get out and feel the puck a little bit. I think it goes a long way.
Yeah.
The Connor who excelled for Canada at the World Junior Championships, Connor Bedard. What do you think of his performance?
Yeah, I mean, wow. It's tough to put into words what he was doing. It was fun to watch. Even the whole team, I thought, played great, and just to see the emotion of the fans in Halifax there, it was a fun tournament to watch.
You skated with Bedard at the BioSteel camp this summer. We've got a very brief clip of the two of you together, I think, on a 2-on-1 rush here. So you've seen him up close and you've spoken to him, and so Sheldon Kovacs asks, what's the best advice that you can share with Connor Bedard heading into the draft in his first NHL year?
Yeah, you know what? He doesn't need much advice. He's been on this trajectory for a long time, and he's got a great head on his shoulders, and he seems like he's doing everything right. So, like I said, it was fun to watch him in this tournament, and it'll be fun to watch him the rest of the year.
Did I not hear you say, though, on a podcast that you would advise him not to be too respectful of the opposition when he breaks in because you felt that's what you were? Do I have that right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I think I certainly stand by that. As someone who's coming into the league, sometimes you can respect the other guys a little bit too much, and defer to your teammates, or not take guys on. And obviously that's what I've been doing my whole life is playing and playing the game the way I know how to. And obviously, just because you're doing it at the highest level doesn't mean you need to change. So. He was going on 2-on-1s with Sid and looking him off and shooting. So I think he's going to be. I think
he's okay.
I think he's going to be just fine there.
I think he's going to be good.
Mike, Destroyer of Tacos, asks, if you could take 17-year-old Connor McDavid out for dinner, what would your advice to him be?
Oh, that's a good question. Just maybe enjoy it. It goes by really quick. I can't believe that I'm in my 8th year already, and. Sometimes on a night like tonight where it's a hard loss, you can let yourself get real low. But ultimately it's a long season, and you got to enjoy it. It's we're playing a game that we all love, and get to do it every day with your teammates, and you just got to enjoy it.
Players are very particular about their equipment. You're not going to play, obviously, with just any stick or wear just any skate. So let's get to the entire key to your career. Let's get to the socks, Louie.
We found the secret to your speed. It's these socks right here. Now, explain what's going on with these. I love this because this is so typical of a hockey player. You love these socks because of the grip they give you in your skate?
Yeah, they just don't make them. They don't make them anymore, that whatever that brand is. I think it's a CCM brand or something like that. But they don't make them that way anymore. Or I guess maybe they do. You just got to wait and wear them. So,
well, anybody out there has them? Send them this way.
Well, listen, I can't believe that there isn't a company out there willing to manufacture Connor McDavid's preferred socks, not just for you, but for the many who would buy them. But like I said before, we're a really big show, so we'll see what happens after that segment.
Yeah.
All right, before we go to break, here's a video question for you.
Hey Connor, it's Luke. Do you remember when we made those poppy seed lemon muffins, and they were so garbage we had to throw them out? I was just wondering how your chef skills are since then, or is Lauren the boss in the kitchen? Good luck the rest of the way, buddy.
Luke Gazdick, your first roommate.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to see that. Yeah, I do remember those were terrible, but I also remember one off day, Gazzy, was up early and ran out to the grocery store, came back, and was just determined to make this lasagna, and he was in the kitchen all day and working it, and he ended up making it. It was real good. He was a good chef, and took really good care of me when I was in my first year there.
And your diet, I'm sure, or your intake's improved since then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Obviously.
He made it healthy. So.
All right, we're going to step aside for a moment. When we come back, we'll talk about a burgeoning acting career, among other things, with number 97. Superstars require only numbers, names not necessary. Fame Room at Rogers Place. As After Hours continues, our guest is Connor McDavid. I said on the way to commercial that some players, superstars, don't need names, only numbers. So, if we say 99, we're talking about the great one, in your case, number 97. So we get to recognition beyond the rink. Here is a portion of an interview you and Wayne Gretzky did with GQ a while back.
So, being hockey players in Canada, are you able to go out in the streets in Edmonton ever?
Him? He can't go anywhere. Obviously, you haven't been to Edmonton. I told you, it's hockey, church, and the Oilers.
Yeah.
He can't go anywhere. He actually probably gets bothered more in Edmonton than I do because I haven't been there for so long, and he's so recognizable now that I'd probably get around easier in Edmonton than he would. No question about it.
I think the great one nailed it, except for the fact that he is also still easily recognizable. So I guess the question about public recognition is, because you are such a celebrity, do you ever get in a situation where you're sitting home one night and you think, I'd really like to go there, but I can't because it would be such a hassle? In other words, be a prisoner of your own celebrity.
You know what? I think we're on the road so much that when I am home, I do like to be home. I'm a bit of a homebody, so but in Edmonton, I would say the people have been extremely respectful of my space, and obviously if I'm out with my family or my friends or something like that, kind of being respectful of my time as well. And obviously there's going to be cases here and there, but I would say the people of Edmonton have been really, really, really respectful.
Here's a picture from your Instagram account. It's the entire McDavid family from a few years back. It's stunning, really, how you and your older brother Cameron on the right look so much alike. So that gets us to this commercial, the one starring you and Cameron. You did it for CIBC, I think, at Pearson Airport. It's from a couple of years ago, and the money scene in this commercial, I think we have it here, is at the baggage carousel. Do we have it, Paul?
The restaurants. It's good bonding time for us.
Dude, I got plans today.
I don't care. Let's go.
It's a little small for the cart, but that's okay. They're free, so don't worry.
Are you Connor?
Oh, this is Connor. This is Connor.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
I'm his more handsome brother. Hopefully this one doesn't go viral, bud.
That's beautiful. That was not staged, was it?
No, it wasn't, and that was my only request from CIBC. Was when we heard we were shooting at Pearson Airport. We're like, we're not going to be surprising people at the baggage carousel, and sure enough, what do? We surprised people at the baggage carousel. So, that's obviously that went well. But there's a lot of people also that are, who's this weird guy at the carousel that's grabbing my bag. So, it was a pretty funny day. Obviously, when you're shooting with your brother, it makes for a good time.
I'm sure you wouldn't be insulted if I told you that we thought that Cameron's a better actor than you are. But anyway, he's also a graduate of the Ivy School of Business, Western Ontario, and he's got a prosperous career as vice president of a healthcare company. So he is the educated brother, the highly educated one, leading to this question: what the heck ever happened to you?
Yeah, I got caught up doing something else. So I got busy doing something else.
A little job on the side.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But super proud of him. Super proud of what he's done. Going through Ivy, business school there at Western, and not an easy thing to do. Coming up through the ranks in the business world, and it's a grind. I've seen it firsthand. It's a grind, and he continues to impress me every day, and very lucky to have Cam as my big bro.
Joshua Marshall asked, do you guys how important is your relationship with him, and do you guys chat a lot before and after games?
Yeah, I mean, he's a huge part of my life. And even though we don't talk, after every single game, we're both busy guys, and it's tough for him to stay up late. Obviously on the West Coast here, and he's up early, so but we keep in constant communication.
All right, final topic, and it's about Ben Stelter, who passed away in August at age 6 after a long battle of cancer, but he had become a valued member of the Oilers family. So the question is from Boydo, and he asks how Ben and your time around him changed your perspective on life.
Yeah, Ben meant a lot to me, meant a lot to our group. He taught me a lot about, what we're, kind of the meaning of what we're all doing here. It's easy, like I said, to get caught up in the day-to-day of the hockey world, to see a little guy go through that and the whole family, it was touching to everybody. And now there's the Ben Stelter Fund,
right.
That you can contribute to keep his memory alive and support all the things that his family wants to take care of.
Excellent. That's our time, Connor. Really appreciate you joining us tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Right.
Thank you.
Connor McDavid was our guest on After Hours. Back to conclude proceedings from Rogers Place in a moment.